Welcome to The Girl Herd,
where we talk Texas football.
and a bunch of takes you've probably already heard.
But not from us. Hi, Herdies. You have Michelle and Angie here once again. And today we have a special guest, our 35th featured twirler for the University of Texas Longhorn band, Gracie Williams. Yay!
Hi, so excited.
Thanks for being here today. We love having you.
No, yes, thank y'all for having me. I'm very excited to dive on into everything.
Yeah. So you've done a year and now you're going into your second year. Explain what does that difference feel like? How was your first year? How do you feel going into the second?
Yes, the first year was definitely, there was just so much going on. It was a little overwhelming at times, but it was just like full of excitement left and right. And I think going into my second year now, I have a bit of more of an understanding of everything. I have kind of a routine, the nerves are gone, and now it's just like full swing, just excitement and enjoying everything. And, now I have a little feel of the lay of the land. So we're, just having fun now.
So Michelle and I have talked before because we were on Texas Palm of what it feels like to take your first step into DKR in front of 100,000 people. Tell everybody, what was that experience like for you, if you could put it into a few sentences?
Honestly, it was just a blur. And I think it was just overwhelming, stepping into DKR. I've been there a couple times during high school for, twirler for a day. So I got to experience that. But being, the featured twirler is a whole different thing. And, I stepped into DKR and you just take in how many people there are. And it's just like the excitement's through the roof, So it's just so enjoyable to kind of feel the vibes of everybody and the atmosphere. There's nothing like it. So it's just, I can't wait to be back. I'm so excited.
Oh, you're making me excited again. Yeah.
Yes, I know. There's just nothing like it. Nothing like it.
Nothing. Yeah. And looking up and being like, oh.
I know, it's crazy. Yes.
I know.
What? Okay. So in thinking about this, I keep thinking about when we did alumni, we went to the field and it was, now you're doing third quarter, you do the fire.
Yes.
And, how is that? Are you ever scared?
Oh my gosh, fire is my favorite thing ever because, I'm in front of the student section, which is great. And everyone is just so excited. I have, since it's turf, I do have a little fireproof tarp that I twirl on. So whenever we pull that out after halftime, everyone just is going crazy in the student section. I can pick out some of my friends and they're all screaming, shouting, and it's just unreal. That's definitely my favorite thing by far. And obviously it is a little nerve wracking, but honestly, it's just one of the most enjoyable moments. So
it's also, I feel become something that we look forward to in the game because we sit right there, right above the student section in the end zone. So we're always yay! Here they come. But I know you've talked about being the UT twirler, but give us a little bit of background before UT, right? I think that a lot of people don't know about what it takes to become a twirler and what made you want to be a twirler. It's kind of not a dying sport, but people don't flock to it. It's not as mainstream.
It's not really known. Yes.
Yeah, it's not really known. So talk about that, and then maybe also how many hours you put into this a week.
Yes, of course. So I'm originally from Pendleton, South Carolina. So I grew up, around Clemson University. My family went there, and so the old Clemson University featured twirlers. She and her mom started a studio in my area. So I kind of found that when I was 7 years old. And I started taking, just very basic classes, not really expecting it to go anywhere. I did a lot of different sports growing up. But somehow that one just really stuck and I've just loved twirling since I started. So when I was 12, I started, getting into the competition aspect, which obviously it's not very known, but everyone in the competition world is very close because it is such a tight-knit community, which is great. So I've been able to meet so many friends and a lot of people who, we have the same interests, we have very similar schedules, things like that. So that's been wonderful. A lot of my friends are now featured twirlers at different universities. I have friends at Ole Miss who twirl, the University of Missouri, University of Georgia. So it's fun to be able to travel to those games and see them as well. But so once I started competing, there's different kind of levels of that. So I started very beginner, and I kind of worked my way up to the advanced level. Lots of hours spent in the gym, at the studio, taking lessons, all that stuff. But when you love it, it's not even work. It's just you get to enjoy it and have fun. So I've done a lot of local competitions, and then we also have state competitions. So I've done my state competition for the past probably 7 years or so. And then after state, you get to qualify if you win that and go to nationals. So I've been blessed to be able to go to nationals for the past about 6 years. And so I've placed top 5 in that, won a couple different events in that. And then beyond that point, you get to qualify and go to Worlds. So in 2023, I actually got to travel to England, and I got to compete in the World Championships for baton twirling, which, is just mind-blowing. I can't even it's just incredible. But that was just such a surreal experience. And looking back, it's I can't even believe that, I was able to do that. But so just so many little things go into twirling, and just so many incredible experiences that, people would never guess. So yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
It's really cool to hear all of that, what all goes into it and how you got here, and talking to you, and you're like, yeah, I'm from South Carolina. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yes.
How did you get here?
I know, not a local. And a lot of my friends are from Texas, and obviously Texas is a huge state school. But so when I was a freshman in high school, it was actually at nationals that Whitney Coons, she reached out. She's the coach here. She coaches me here, and y'all know her obviously.
Yeah.
But so she reached out and invited me to the Twirler for a day here at Texas, and I traveled to a game day for that, and then I just loved it, being able to be on the field, and I got to perform on the field during third quarter, which was such an amazing experience, especially when you're 14, 15 years old. It's unreal. And just the atmosphere was so unmatched that I kept coming back, and I just fell in love with it. And I'm just so incredibly blessed to be here now and be in the position I'm in. So
wait, Mish, how many years ago, was it 2 years ago that we took the picture with all of the girls that were here to do that day on the field?
That's what I was trying to think about. It may have been last year, actually.
Maybe.
I was I can't remember if you were in it or not. I'm going to have to now go back and look at the picture.
Yeah, so they have it every year, and I got to, be on the other side of things this year. We hosted one in November, and it's really interesting and exciting to be, the role model and the person that all the girls look forward to when I was once in their position. So, it's just incredible. So
yeah, of course, yeah. Ours would I say last year, and I'm like last season. I'm not in this season yet, so 2 seasons ago would be when I think because of course, okay. So you mentioned Whitney. She's your coach, and how you got into this. Whitney was the featured twirler when Angie and I were on Palm, and that's how we know Whitney very well. And so we always every time we see her, and the band's coming down in their parade, and Whitney's of course off to the side, and we're always like, where are they?
I know, I love it.
She's so great. So but when we were actually near the band hall, tailgating around where the wine garden is, really close, which is where we're able to see, which is that's such a cool experience. Again, having been, on the field, seeing how it is now, you're there and you're the only one, but going and getting that experience and getting to see what it's like, and do y'all's third routine. Q3 routine, I don't know. Third quarter.
Third quarter Wabash is incredible. So
that's so fun.
So now that you're at UT, right? When we were on Palm, people also didn't really consider us student athletes, but to us we were, right? We had practice 3 days a week. We had to go and do X amount of workouts, practice, and then when football and basketball are overlapping, you have so many things going on. So talk about that a little bit of what all it takes to be the twirler at the University of Texas.
Yes. So in the fall, I have practice 3 days a week, and it's with the band. So I'm part of the Longhorn band. So I practice 2 hours on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday with them. That's kind of, finding what drill I'm in, kind of finding my spot around the field, getting to twirl to their music, choreograph my routines, practice on my skills, just, a lot of that, and a lot of it for the most part is on my own individual practice. So especially once football season is over, and then more toward basketball season, it's definitely, I find time for myself to go to the rec and, practice on my own time in the mornings or afternoons. And so basketball season, I did a couple games this year, and we're going to work towards some more games next year. But that's just kind of pick and choose, but those are super fun to do as well. But yes, so practice is just very independent for me. So.
And do you you come up with your routines and you know what
Yes.
the song is going to be for the band or
Yes. So for the most part, I choreograph, and then of course Whitney helps me, and she's got all her experience under her belt. So I love when she has input, and honestly, I couldn't have done last year without her helping me through everything and navigate. But yes, and then the band does a couple different shows throughout football season. So I think we did 3 or 4, maybe even 5 different shows this year. So it's a very quick turnaround between games, especially when you have different home games back to back every weekend. It's very quick turnaround to learn, a 10-minute halftime, things like that. But so a lot of it is, you kind of have to learn how to perform on the spot and kind of improv. But that's something that, I'm getting used to now. So it's been a lot of fun.
That's okay. So 10 minutes.
So impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't even know how long the halftime shows are, but, I lose track, but it takes it out of you. Yes.
Okay, so I love that you have kind of walked us through what it takes to be a twirler. One of the other biggest things I feel like to me about you guys is the outfits. And the Girl Herd is all about the outfits, the game day outfits, and y'all's are like cream of the crop when it comes to this. So do you make them? Do you help in the design of them? What is that like?
So obviously we get to use a lot of the previous twirlers' costumes, and but each twirler gets to design their own basically. So a lot of input from my coach Whitney and then my coach at home, and then you get it approved. So I get it approved through the band. So the band directors are wonderful. I get it approved through them, and then I send it. There's a company that we use in Georgia that makes them, and then they'll ship them back to my coach Whitney's house, and then we stone them. So we do the rhinestones and glue them all on there. Yes. So
I know, because I was going to say she's always talking about rhinestoning. Yeah.
She is. And even like my tennis shoes, the Nike swoosh on my tennis shoes are stoned. So, blinged out for sure.
Well, we love it. It works.
Professional bedazzlers. I love it.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Add it to the list of all the other things. But that's what I was going to ask, because the Ohio State pep rally that you did last year in Austin, you wore a black rhinestone. So it's always fun to see what you're going to come out with and what you're going to wear. I'm sure you're also excited. You're yes.
I'm very excited. I think we have 2 new costumes in the works for this year and this season. So I'm very excited for that. Yeah.
Do you know when you're going to debut them?
I'm not sure. We're kind of playing it by ear for now, but I'm hoping really soon. So
that's super exciting. Okay, and so we are also a football geared show. So what game this season? What home game? We'll stick with the home game. Are you most looking forward to?
It's definitely Ohio State. Honestly, there's not even really another great home game that I'm looking forward to more than Ohio State. And I think one of the biggest factors is, so obviously last year, I had the privilege to go to all the away games. So Ohio State was my very first game as a University of Texas featured twirler, which is crazy, It was such a surreal experience, but I'm excited for them to come, and, we get to be on our home turf. We have kind of that advantage, and now we're kind of getting into the season. It's our first big game of the season, so everyone's going to be super excited. I know the crowd will be so involved, and I think College Game Day will be here, so I'm super excited for that. So I can't even imagine what it's going to be like. It's going to be a great game. So
we're also very excited. It's a little nice that it's the second game of the season.
It is, yes. And I'm glad it's a night game too.
Yes.
So it'll be a fun one. Yes. Yeah. I will say I am also excited for Ole Miss because, like I said, in the twirling community, we're very close. I have a really good friend who twirls at Ole Miss, and they're trying to come up to Austin. So that'd be fun to get to see them, see her. So
That's what I was just about to ask. I was like, what about Ole Miss? Because
Yes.
I also like have family that went to Ole Miss. My sister's
Yes.
actually going to come down and go with us for the game. So I know
That
what
would
it's
be
like.
another fun one.
Yeah,
Yes.
just to have people come and like get to show. I don't think, my sister's been to Texas OU, but I actually don't think she's been to a game in Austin. So.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Come on, Chrissy.
Yeah.
I love it. Yes.
I love that you have friends that come too. I went to the Ole Miss game when we played there years ago. And it's fun. It's a fun experience. So excited to have them come to Austin too.
Yes, of course.
Ooh, and you get to go to Baton Rouge and play.
Yes.
I do, yes.
In Death Valley.
That's going to be an insane game. We have some fun away games, and like I said, super excited that I have the opportunity to go to all of them. So I'm really excited for LSU. Tennessee will be a fun one too. Honestly, just everywhere.
I know, and it's cool to see like all of these new stadiums, which we have a hard time because we're like, we want to go everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah, we do.
Of course.
Yeah. We're okay, so we've talked about twirling and football. What about outside? Because I know you have so much time outside of all that, but like, what do you love to do? What's your favorite thing in Austin?
So one of my goals for this year is definitely for my friends and I to get out into the city a little bit more, do a little bit more. I want to float the river, which I've never done, which would be super fun. Go to Barton a little bit more. But honestly, just hanging out with my friends and just basically all my friends are from like Houston or Dallas, those areas. So it's kind of their first time, seeing all of Austin as well. So just like exploring those different places together is one of my favorite things to do. Just spending any amount of time with them. We did a lot of studying last year, just lots of time spent like in the dorms, around campus. So that's just anytime I'm in their presence, I love it. And then one of my favorite things I will say is trying different food spots. So my dad has always been like a big foodie, so we'll always try different restaurants. So I have like a list of new places around Austin that I'm really excited to be able to try. But
that's nice.
Things like that.
Yeah, you'll have to share your list with us because we always are looking for places when we come into town for like a Friday night dinner before games.
Yes, I'm trying to do my research, and my parents try to come up to all the home games as well. So kind of trying to find some different spots for all of us to go try. So yeah.
Okay, so your family, what was their allegiance to college football prior to you coming to Texas, and have they converted to being Longhorn fans?
Yes, like I said. Yes. So mom, dad, my brother went to Clemson, aunts, uncles, my grandparents worked there. So, that Clemson pride runs very deep in my family. But now they're, burnt orange all the way around. So like I said, they try to come to every single home game, and they're always decked out in their burnt orange, and they're just overwhelmed with support. So it's been wonderful. So, and it's funny too because one of my uncles, he diehard Clemson fan, but he will send me things all the time about Texas and keep me up to date with all the different games, basketball, softball, baseball, all the things. And he is obsessed with Bevo. So all things Bevo related, he is on top of it and sending me those. And, so I think we're converting them a little bit. So I love to see it. Yeah.
We love to hear it.
I know, we love that. We always love to convert people. We're like, you love it. I would be very curious. I'll have to like interview them like, hey, how are game days for Clemson versus in Austin? What do you think?
Yes. So they've loved it though. There's always something to do. And I will say my parents are always, kind of following me around a little bit, but they get to go out there and, explore their own too. So it's been great. They love it.
That's awesome. You said a lot of studying, which like, yes, going from high school and then going to UT, you're like, this is a shift. This is a little bit different. And then add all your like extracurriculars and everything else you have going on. What are you majoring in?
I'm a kinesiology major. So I'm on the physical therapy track, hoping to, do some work there, go to PT school after I graduate, and start working in the clinic. And I want to do pediatrics. So I've actually grown up for the past several years working at my dance and baton studio here at home. So I work with, little ones the ages of, 18 months all the way to 18 years. So I love working with kids. So trying to pursue that But
So exciting.
That is
Yes.
great. We love
Mhm.
that. I can't wait to watch you this season and once you come out with all the 2 new outfits that you have. But
Mhm.
tell everybody who would be listening to this how that they can also follow along with you throughout the season.
Yes. So I do have a Longhorn Future Twirler Instagram page. So I'm going to be posting, every game day, different clips throughout practice and all the away games and just fun little snippets, maybe day in my life, things like that. So definitely follow that and, you'll get a glimpse into everything. So super excited.
And I think it's, Longhorn Future Twirler, right?
Yes. Yes,
That
ma'am.
handle? Yeah. Yeah. I love that y'all do the takeovers and then
Me
do
too.
all the things. I know when you were like, I knew you were doing nationals and I was like, I need to stalk like everywhere.
Yes.
What's happening.
Yes. So it's been a lot of fun. So
Fun. Well, thank you so much, Gracie. We had so
Yes.
much fun catching up and we can't wait to see everything this season.
Yes,
And-
thank y'all so much. I'm
Of
really
course.
excited for this season, so it'll be a good one. So
Yes.
Yeah.
I know.
So nice to meet you.
We're all optimistic, but
Yes.
everyone go follow Gracie.
Yes,
See you
thank
all.
you.
Hook 'em.
Bye. Hook 'em.